And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy here.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? He met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now that you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Luther Arnold. Okay?
My man.
Okay.
Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go. We head to Kroger's, and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
how
I
do you do
mean,
it? Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you know you gotta get the smile going on some shoes, but you know.
Wait, hold up.
You got.
I gotta
when
try
it's time,
this with you.
when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try this
you gotta
with
think
you.
of something funny and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
Sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Find somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Yes. Still cracking, the voice still cracking, still waking up, waking up.
Still going through puberty.
Yeah, you know, puberty is a beautiful thing. It's a strange time. I've been having this same issue for the past 20 some odd years. No big deal. No big deal. It's totally normal. Anyway, I hope you guys are having a fantastic and wonderful and productive Tuesday. Man, it has been a long week for me, and it's only Tuesday, y'all. I ain't gonna lie. It has been a long week, and it's only getting crazier, and it's only getting busier. And but we got some cool things to talk about today, which I'm excited about. There's good news today. There's some good news today. You know, hopefully you guys are feeling it. Hopefully you're excited about that, because you know we need some good news right now. Period. So I'm happy about that. What's up, guys? How you guys doing? Tommy Boy and Jackie Buck, the turd. What's up going, guys?
Is the good news that White Castle is still open and they have a deal going on for their original sliders?
You want to know something? I figured that White Castles would change their name to, like, I don't know, Castles or something.
Just Castles, probably.
Yeah, just being scared of all this stuff that's going on. You know, you got Confederate flags that are getting taken down. Yay. You got all these, you got Gone with the Wind that's been taken down off of streaming platforms. I really don't have any personal opinion about that one. But still, I keep thinking that, you know, you got Lady Antebellum changing their name to just Lady A.
Right.
You feel me? So in a way, it's like, I'm just waiting for other things to just start going, you know what? Yeah. Black lives do matter. Therefore, White Castles, because it sounds a little racist, I guess, we're taking out white. We're just taking out the word white.
Down south, they call it Crystal Burger.
Yes.
Yes, they do.
Oh.
Crystals.
Yeah.
Crystals, yeah. Still makes you gassy.
I don't know if it's the same brand, though. I think it's like pretty similar. But yeah, they can come up with a little thing. They can put an X through the white or something like that.
See what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. They could go the other direction and put an X through the C.
Oh.
Try
White
saying
Castle.
that out loud.
Oh, God.
That's a good one, Tom. Wow. He's been thinking about that one for a long. He had that in his arsenal. He had that joke in his arsenal for a while. He was like, wait a second. Frap, I can finally use this 20 years later. I'm so proud of myself. That's funny as hell, though. Toilet humor. We needed that. Thank you. Thank you. But
Well, there are a lot of White Castles with the C crossed out running around these days, it seems
Yes,
like.
sir.
yes. Yes.
Yes, there is. I was
Yes.
just reading about a guy that was wearing a KKK full robe walking his dog.
Oh,
Are you
nice.
kidding me? Are you serious?
No, that's cool, right? That's
That's awesome.
happening, you know.
Yeah, the
And
hate.
the sheriff said that, you know, really shouldn't have bothered anybody. He was on a country road.
Take me home to the place, right? Isn't that the song?
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not a criminal act to wear a full-on white supremacist robe.
Wait
in
a second.
public.
It's
So,
not. It's not.
No.
Huh?
Maybe that's a change that needs to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. You could say that again, brother. That's I'm not okay with that. That shouldn't be allowed, period. But apparently that's okay. I thought you're not allowed to wear. Okay, so he was in a full-on KKK head to toe, the hood and the. I thought you're not allowed to wear masks. If it's not Halloween, you're not allowed to wear masks or anything covering your. Well, obviously times have changed. These times they are changing. But I'm just saying in general, I thought it was illegal to wear masks out in public unless it's like Halloween. Or like some sort of holiday.
I think that's for like, unfortunately, you know what that was aimed towards? The black community.
Wait, you mean you're talking about the KKK hood?
Wearing masks around Halloween was not aimed at.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the KKK hood and war. But I'm like, duh.
Municipalities. It was like a state by state, city by city thing, where they stopped allowing people to be able to wear masks outside of Halloween night. And because of that, but if you look where it like got implemented, it was purely because of like people worried about black teens, which is messed up.
See, that's messed up. See, but okay. Well, that's good to know. So rules only apply to black teens, not to white men wearing KKK hoods and robes, walking the damn dogs. Shoot. What kind of dog was it? That's what I'd like to know.
Probably like a little tiny like thing that you got.
Shoot. That's messed up. That's really messed up. That's messed up. I ain't about that life, man. That ain't cool. That is not cool. Oh, that's interesting. That isn't good news. But anyway, outside of that, we still have some good news out there to talk about. But that's you know, that's kind of funny to me. Who wants to go outside with their dog, walking their dog in their full-on KKK swag, going out in their KKK drip? Who wants to do that? You know what I'm saying? You are fully exposing your ass. You're fully exposing yourself. Who does that? Who does that?
Yeah. A special kind of stupid.
It's a special kind of stupid. You're absolutely right, Jack. Yeah. Absolutely right.
Dumbass of the day.
Oh, wait. Mr. T12 said, another policy in most urban cities for nightclubs and restaurants is no hoodies, no caps, no Tims, aimed at you know who. Absolutely. You're not allowed to, I see it all the time. Or if you do wear a baseball cap, you can't wear it backwards. If you got chains on, you got to tuck them in. You know, it's the typical no hoodies. Yeah, I've seen it all. I've seen it. And it's literally targeted at a very specific group of men. Because it's not every day you're going to see a girl, you know, straight girl, let's just say that, a straight girl dressed in that type of clothing. You know what I'm saying? Unless you might see a girl, or some white girl wearing a backwards baseball cap, but they're not going to say anything to her. They're just going to be like, come on. Because they're trying to bring as many females in because they know that's where the men are going to come in and start spending money. That's all it is. But then, of course, they're going, oh, no. No Tims, no baggy jeans, no specific looks, because they don't want that type of people in the club because they're worried about fights, shootings, all the crazy stuff that you would expect, or they would expect from that specific type of men. And it's effed up. It's effed up.
Yeah. Back in 2012, Congressman Bobby Rush, a black congressman, he came in. He was a part of the militant group, the Black Panthers, or quote unquote militant group, and he came into the chamber wearing a suit, and he had a hoodie underneath. And this was like during that time when these laws were being passed. And he put on glasses and he pulled his hoodie up, and then they basically called the floor rules on him for wearing a hat and thing and escorted him out.
Yep. That's how they get us. Wow. That's how they get us, man. You have to dress a very specific way to be able to get in there without any issues. If you're dressed any other type of way, if you dress suspiciously, then there's a problem all the time. It's stupid. John Caitlin said, I lived in South Korea for 4 years, and some clubs just simply put signs on the door that say no black people allowed. South Korea and Japan are racist as hell. That's crazy. And it's funny because, you know, you're seeing it right now in China, where during the coronavirus, once the first wave went down, they were escorting Africans out of their hotels. They were literally kicking people out of their private domiciles and trying to exile them out of China. Not serving them food, nothing. They're like, we are not serving any black people or anything of that sort. And that's just in China too. I'm like, damn. We talked about that like 2 months ago. It's crazy. It's crazy. Steve Simpson said, I don't know if Barney's still has that policy, but I used to get in trouble all the time in there for backwards baseball caps. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, McDonald's in China barred black people. Crazy. Yeah, and that stuff is like that goes everywhere. It's not it doesn't happen in America as much. No, we get our black brothers and sisters just shot and killed and strangled by the knee. Wow, I can't even believe I could say that right now. It's a weird thing, but you know, we still have our own forms of racism in this country, but it's wild that they literally just flat out just put it up on windows saying no black people allowed, no blacks allowed, black people go home. In America, it's a little bit more subtle. No backwards baseball caps, no large chains, no baggy clothing. We see it, we deal with it. But it's subtle. It's not in your face as much, but it's there. It's just very subtle.
You know, one thing I didn't realize before, like this last year or so, is in a lot of cities, the public parks don't have basketball courts, strictly to keep young black men away.
Where doesn't have?
A lot of major cities in the United States, a lot of the public parks when they were built was still during segregated times. Well, not that we're not still living in some segregated times, but a lot of the public parks in America's major cities, they don't put basketball courts in them to keep away undesirables, as they would say.
Wow.
Yeah.
See, yeah, that's interesting. And Cash just said no one talks about black on black racism in Africa. Yeah. That's a little bit of a left turn, but not really. No, it's not a left turn. Yes, there is that as well. But there's black on black racism in America too. I mean, let's keep it straight funky. You know, there's colorism like a mug in this country. It's the same thing in Africa. It's the same thing. I mean, it's not on blacks, but it's the same thing in India. There's a caste system. You know, if you have the darker the skin you are, the lower the class in this caste system you are in India. Same rules and same type of things, type of racism or black on black racism that happens in America and in Africa. It's almost the same rules apply in that way. If you light skinned, then you're such and such. If you dark skinned, then you ain't beautiful, that kind of thing. You know, it's crazy how much that stuff really exists and how much it's still prominent to this day. You see people just in America. Look at entertainment. You know, you look at somebody like Drake. He's making great strides. Obviously, he's extremely successful, but he light-skinned. What if he wasn't light-skinned, but still had those hits? I don't know. Maybe he would have the same success. Maybe he would have the same crossover appeal, but it's tough. You know, and that's just on yellow bone. Right. Red bone, yellow bone. But I'm just saying, like, you could take Drake's success or take Drake's music and put it on somebody else. But the thing is that he's biracial, he's light skinned. So there's a little bit more of a national appeal, a crossover appeal, because of his skin tone, which is messed up and unfair and wrong, right? But then you take somebody like Will Smith, for example, before he became a movie star, he had a lot of crossover appeal, but it was also because of the sound of his music. And he's a rarity. He really is a rarity. You know, he just happens to have all that charisma and talent all bottled up in one body. You know what I'm saying? But there's still black on black racism in this country all day long. And I mean, and it's also a caste system in a way too. You know, you still have your well-to-do, you know, middle class, upper middle class African Americans, and then you have your working class, lower class African Americans, and sometimes there's tension between those demographics, like those groups of people. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's nuts that actually exists, but it's real. And you could say the same thing in Africa. You could say the same thing everywhere. There is a lot of black on black racism. You know, you can even say the same thing with white people though too. There's a lot of white on white racism as well. You'll hear people say they're trailer trash, or it's just how they were brought up. It's not as hardcore. You don't hear them using derogatory terms towards their nationality, or you know where their family originated from, because they're Irish or something like that. But at the same time, you could still see it a little bit. It's just not as prominent. You know, it's just not as prominent. That's what I think. Mr. T12, look at Univision and Telemundo television channels. White and light-skinned Latinos represent 95% of what's on TV. But when I travel, I see 75% of the people have color or mixed. And that's you're actually really, you got a good point. You know, it's a little bit the actors on those channels tend to be a little bit more on the fairer skin side. You don't see a lot of people, like if you go to Mexico, a lot of times you're going, wait, but these people here are Mexicans. What am I looking at on TV? That's completely different. It's drastically different. You know, you see somebody who looks, let's just say, has the traditional features of someone who is Mexican. You know, you're not seeing that person on television. You're seeing a freak of nature, like supermodel type person, you know, but you don't really see real people on those channels. Barely ever. Right. You know, it's a lot of nip tuck and a lot of butt injections, to be real, you know. So
you got to fit a mold, right?
Yeah, you got to fit a mold, unfortunately, you know. It's so funny. I didn't know we were going to go down this route, but we're going down this rabbit hole. You know what I'm saying? It's fine. This is why I love you. This is why I love you guys. This is why I love you guys out there. This is why I love my dudes right here. We go where the train takes us. You know what I'm saying? We're just going down the roller coaster ride. But that's funny. Brian on YouTube just said, I can't stand my white neighbor, LOL. I'm done. I'm done. All this racism is killing me. Anyway, so that's an interesting little side note conversation. But, you know, we got to jump into a little bit of good news. All right. Now, it's part of our top stories, one of our top stories right now. And I think it's really, really interesting. Colin Kaepernick could possibly get signed and be playing in the NFL this coming season. Tommy Boy, speak on it.
Well, it's a possibility. Roger Goodell, who of course is the NFL commissioner, went on ESPN's The Return of Sports yesterday, and he said he is encouraging teams to sign the 32-year-old quarterback. Kaepernick hasn't played in 3 seasons, but Goodell is now saying that he's encouraging owners to hire him. He said if he wants to resume his career in the NFL, then obviously it's going to take a team to make that decision. I welcome that. Support a club making that decision and encourage them to do that. So,
Jack, what do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think on this, Jack? Real quick before I jump in.
I think that he is just doing. Hold on a second. He is doing something where he is just like I don't know. That's I think the whole NFL response to everything has been just pure PR.
Oh yeah.
And with them saying that they stand behind the whole movement and everything, it's like no, you don't. No, that's a lie. Like, and then for him to say, oh yeah, we definitely, want Kaepernick. Well,
Thank you.
Then he shouldn't have held a private thing where he wouldn't have had any press coverage while he was trying out before. Like, everything's been orchestrated.
Yes.
So
thank you. Okay. So that's why I wanted you to say it, because you are Mr. Skepticism all day long.
Yeah.
You are the cynic of the group. So I was going to say it, but you said it. So I'm very happy you did. I echo everything you just said, Jack, because right now there's this Black Lives Matter movement that's going so heavy. He goes on, Goodell goes out of his way, gets on his camera, says, oh, no, we support the Black Lives Matter movement. Oh, thank you for letting us know 6 years later. So Kaepernick has not had a gig in a very long time. And then suddenly, because of all this stuff, now you're cool with it? Now you're going to jump on the bandwagon and go, no, let's get him a job. Let's get him a job. Let's give him a shot. No. We should sign him because, the Black Lives Matter movement, he's a very big, prominent figure of that. If we don't give him a job, we're going to have even more problems, and we want asses in those seats. So please, somebody, one of these teams, hire him, please. Will one of y'all sign him, please? Anybody? Anyone? Now, here's the other question I have. Does he still got it, though? Does he still got the skills, though? He's been cold for a minute. Unless he's still training like a mug. And I'm sure he's still training, but I'm just saying, like, he hasn't been out in a game in a minute. Does he still got it? I know that they did a private training sesh or like a tryout session a few months back. We talked about it on the show a while back, like months ago, but nothing came of it. They said, oh, he's all right. He's doing okay. But, we're not talking about, I don't know. Like, I don't know how good he really was when he was playing. I don't know his stats. I'm not a football fiend, so I can't really say much. But I'm just wondering, does he still got it? What were you going to say, Jack?
maybe he wasn't kneeling beside for all the other things. Maybe it was just because he actually is injured, and he didn't want to. No, he still got it. Did you watch any of the stuff?
No, I ain't seen ish.
No,
I ain't seen
not
nothing.
The high school thing where he was there. I mean, they showed a few things where they were going back and forth, and he's still got an arm, and I don't know. I think he's fine.
I mean, that's the only. I mean, that's all I care about. I mean, that's the only concern I have is that you've been sitting, chilling on the side, chilling in the corner for a minute. So that's my only concern. Is like, are you still good? Because you're coming in, you're representing something. You're a symbol of a huge movement. You are a part of something very, very big. You lost your gig. You lost your job because of how you passionately felt about certain things that are going on in this world. And then suddenly they go, yeah, we can bring it. Yeah, let's bring him back. Let's sign him because we're terrified and we don't want to lose that dollar. So of course it's like it would suck if Kaepernick's on the field. There's the snap. And here goes the throw. And he ain't got nothing.
Butterfingers.
Yep, or he just gets sacked so hard, and everyone's like, yo, maybe he should stay in the corner kneeling. So I'm just curious if he still got it. But it's still, no matter what, I'm excited for him. But at the same time, I don't know if this, like I said, the whole Goodell sounds like Adele, hello. Makes me wonder if it really makes me wonder what the intentions are and if the intentions are actually genuine. It all seems very, very weird. I'm excited for him, but it just seems weird. You know what I'm saying? Like They were so hardcore about one thing, and then all of a sudden this movement happens, and then he just goes, you know, never mind. We're all for it. Sign him. Just seems weird now. Doesn't it seem weird?
Yeah.
Like,
It's like
sign him,
hella
but
weird.
make sure to give him 2/3 the amount of paycheck as a white quarterback.
Facts. Just a little weird.
I think anybody expecting the NFL to do the right thing for the right reasons is kidding themselves. I mean, let's not forget, this is the same organization that was hiding numbers on concussion rates. I mean, it's a bunch of billionaire white dudes out there that own all these teams. And they had no problem blackballing Colin Kaepernick a few years back. Anything they're going to do now is going to be for PR. But again, these are billionaire white dudes that own these teams that have been hiding concussion rates. These are sociopaths. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's who runs the NFL.
Yeah.
And yeah.
No, like I said, it just seems a little fishy to me. It just seems hella fishy. That's all. I'm all for it. I'm all for Kaepernick getting back in the game. Trust me, I'm all for it. Just smells a little fishy. Smells a little fishy. I got a comment. And somebody just said, John Caitlin just said they owe him some monies. Yes, they owe him some monies, big time. I think so. Mr. T12 said he may be in shape, but football shape is a bit different. Can he play? Yes. Will he be starting QB? Probably not. And that's very true. That's what I keep thinking. Like, he probably won't be starting quarterback, but at the same time, you never know. He might, like what Jack just said. He still got it apparently. So we'll see. We will see. Oh, Nikki, wow, thank you. First she said, I just wanted to say thank you for your opinion. And then she said, you helped me open up my heart and mind. I'm learning how to be myself in someone else, or how to put myself in someone else's shoes and life. Aw, that really means a lot, Nikki. Thank you. Thank you so much for watching the show and letting us jam your toes in those person's shoes as hard as possible. Hopefully they're comfortable. Are they? The shoes, I mean, are they comfortable? Are they new shoes? Are they old shoes? That's what I'd like to know, Nikki. Mr. Super said Goodell set up a trap on for Cap doing the Saturday workout. He set a trap for Cap doing the Saturday workout. Cap fell for it. It was ugly to watch. Huh. Interesting. Well, interesting. I don't know. Only time can tell if he actually gets signed. Because I feel that a lot of owners, a lot of team owners might be very concerned about if he's going to start some ish. You feel me? He gets out there and he starts, because he comes off, I guess, I could see how the owners might look at him and see him as a wild card. You know, that he cannot be tamed. He cannot be told what to do. And I think that's one of the things that I think some of these players are going to be very worried, or some of these owners are going to be very worried about him being on the team. Chris LaRose, what's up, Chris? Said he was average at best. Damn. Sharon on Facebook, hello. Good morning, Sharon. She says, I like Cap as a college player, but not as impressed as him pro. But when I say that, people call me racist. Interesting. I'm not calling you racist. You're just speaking your opinions on him as a pro athlete. Let's see. But yeah.
I wonder.
So we'll see.
I mean, there's part of me that, like, if Kaepernick wants to play, I'm all about him being allowed to play if he's got the skill to play at that level. But at the same time, there's part of me that's like, I feel like he's outgrown that league. I mean, that league is trash.
Wait.
Kaepernick is bigger than that now. He's an icon.
But what's big? Wait, but what's bigger than the NFL? Like
American
you said,
society.
Well, that
culture.
too. Well,
like,
that too. But I'm saying what I mean is that when you say he's outgrown the NFL.
Well, it's like
what do you
saying
mean?
Muhammad Ali is just a boxer. Like Colin Kaepernick, I feel like is bigger than the sport that he played. You know, you'd hate to see Colin Kaepernick go into it and risk injury and brain damage playing in the NFL when he could be a great spokesperson for racial issues, or he could be a larger public figure than just a guy that goes out, plays football, and gets his bell rung every Sunday. You know, I feel like in some ways he's bigger than the league. He's better than the league. I mean, if he wants to play, I'm all about it. I just, you know, why risk injury and all that kind of stuff? I feel like he could, you know, I feel like he could be a good spokesperson and have a lot more longevity that way than going in the NFL. And, you know, so many of these people come out of the NFL, by the time they retire, they can barely put a sentence together. Do you want that for Colin Kaepernick? I mean,
we need him to write a book before that.
No kidding. Well, that's what ghostwriters are for. That's what ghostwriters are for, Jack.
Right.
That's true.
That's all I'm saying. All you do is put your face on it. You tell your story a little bit. Somebody just embellishes your story. Ghostwriter. Put your face on it. Make $1 million. Done. That's how books are made nowadays. Real talk.
When he kneeled, he was still as tall as everybody on the field.
Exactly. I mean, I see what you're saying, Tom. I mean, I'm picking up what you're putting down. You know, I'm not disagreeing on that at all. But there is a part of me that's like, all right, when was the last time you actually heard Kaepernick speak? Because if you really think about it, when you say he's bigger than the NFL, obviously his name will forever be known as something bigger than just being a quarterback. But at the same time, it makes you wonder if he was to transcend from the current place that he's at, as far as like, ooh, he just wants to play ball. Can he handle being in front of a podium, in front of millions of people, speaking some amazing, epic speeches? Can the man speak? There it is. Because if you say he has transcended, he's bigger than the game of football. He is bigger than the NFL. He is an icon. He's iconic for what he has done. He better know how to speak then, if he's bigger than NFL. Because here it is. A move, a gesture, a kneel, yes, huge. But now you're putting that kneel and that gesture on the world stage. I don't think he's going to be going up there. Like everybody's like, oh, please welcome to the microphone, Colin Kaepernick. And he walks up, you know, crowds are cheering. He's walking up there. He's at the mic. And he goes, huh, and he just sits, he just kneels. He doesn't even speak. No one's going to like that. So when you say, I'm sorry, but it's the truth, he better say something. He better be some amazing speaker or have some amazing speech writers if he's going to be more than just that gesture.
Yeah.
Can he speak? I don't think I've ever heard him speak outside of just like little press things and microphones in his face and stuff like that. Other than that, I've never seen him go up and actually like drop some rhetoric on somebody's ass, like bow, drop the mic, walk off the stage, like, you know what I'm saying? I haven't seen that. Not saying he would do that like that, but you know what I'm saying. I'm waiting for him to come out and say something profound, and I ain't seen nothing.
Interesting. Well, he maintained a 4.0 in college, so he's a smart guy, but it doesn't mean necessarily that he's able to go up and be an orator, right? But it does look like in February, he started Kaepernick Publishing, and he's going to publish a memoir through his company and Audible. So we'll see if he's the one that's actually reading his own book.
Okay. Like I said,
And the
of
other thing
course
I
he's going
worry
to have his
about, too,
memoir.
is-
Of course he's going to have his own memoir. Of course.
Self-published.
Of course. Oh, he's going to make a mint off that. Trust me, people are going to buy that. What were you going to say, Tom?
I mean, I think the other thing I worry about, Kaepernick is what, like 32 now? That's pretty old for the NFL. He's been out of the league for 3 years. If he goes back in the league now and is terrible, what does that do to his legacy? It's like Colin Kaepernick back today, in the NFL, a proud day for, and today he threw 6 interceptions and was sacked 12 times. I mean, is that what we want? I mean, again, if he wants to play football, I'm all about it. I just feel like he is a public figure, has transcended that league, which isn't saying much. I mean, that league is trash. I mean, it's run by horrible people. But I just feel like he's transcended that league. Why go back to the scummy swamp when you can go do something else?
Like the XFL.
Okay, so then here it is. Yeah, just like the XFL. I'm done. Oh, God. So let me. Oh, that would have been bad. Okay, so let me ask you this then, guys, because you say transcending I said transcending, but you know what I'm saying. You're talking about him being beyond the game. But this is all he wants. Think about it. If he didn't want to play, he wouldn't be playing. No, he wouldn't be trying out. He wouldn't be doing anything. He would just be chilling, being like, bet, I'm going to work on my memoir. I'm going to be talking to my speech writers. I'm going to learn how to speak. I'm going to be the next great such and such. I'm going to be the next great version of myself. And let's keep it moving. But no, he really wants to play. And maybe it's solely the fact that they just said, no, F you ain't playing. And he's like, what? I'm not allowed. I can't play. This is BS. I want to play. Now you want me to. Now the desire to want to play is even greater because now you're telling me I can't have it. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, so you're kicking me out because of something that I believe in, something that I feel that is right. No, screw you. I will play again. You're not going to tell me I'm never playing again. That could be it too. Yes, I understand the icon part of things. Totally get that. Trust me, I get it. I would have been. That's part of what I think in my head. It's like, well, I'm now part of a much bigger thing than just the NFL. You're absolutely right on that, Tom. But then there's also that part where it's like, well, they just told me I could never get it. I could never have it again. I guarantee you owners have probably went to his face and said, you're never playing again. You done messed up, boy. And he's like, oh, they want to talk about mothers. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay, you know what? You tell me I ain't going to play no more? Trust me, I'm going to be back on this field. And you're going to hate every minute of it. That's what I think is what's going on. For sure. And maybe he does one season. He's like, I'm out. Deuces. Thank you. I'm done. Now I'm going to go to my podium. And instead of kneeling, I'm going to speak. And I'm going to blow people's minds. Maybe that's what it is.
And keep in mind this, too. If he goes back and play, he's going to be, I mean, granted, he'll be making NFL player money himself.
Oh, yeah.
But he's going to be making these same owners that kicked him out of the league money, too. People are going to show up to see Colin Kaepernick. And he's going to, end up making money for the same league that kicked him out and treated him like trash.
Right.
So, I mean, again, if I'm Colin Kaepernick, I'd really think this through. I mean, I'm not Colin Kaepernick. They threw me a football once. I tried to bounce it, but I tried to dribble it. But
it happens.
Yeah, no, I am not an athlete by any means. But I'm just saying, for me, it seems like he's transcended the league. Why go back into the league and make those owners money? Screw them. That would be my opinion. I mean, how much longer at 32? How much longer can he really play anyway?
I mean, the minimum salary that a starting quarterback in the NFL makes is $20 million.
That makes
I think I found the answer why he might want to go back.
That might be it. Speaking opportunities, maybe $1 million. A whole season, though. $20 million. Throwing a ball. Not saying that it's not saying that throwing a ball or playing pro football is not hard. It's terrifying. I can only imagine. But think about it. That's some good motivation right there too. But you got to remember, he got a huge endorsement with Nike. So, from my understanding, I don't know what he did. I think he did give majority of it away to a certain organization or a certain foundation. But other than that, he still made some money. I mean, he still was making some monies for real. So I don't know if it's really him securing the bags, though. I really think it's just about them saying no and him saying, oh, really? I'm going to tell you when. Not the other way around. And that's it. That's what I think.
Well, I appreciate your opinion.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You just never know. You just never know now. You know? Ooh, hold on. Chris LaRose. Chris said, oh no, he was responding to. Okay. There's a rumor that the Patriots are looking at Cap. That's what Mr. Super said. And I don't know. I don't know.
I saw that Meek Mill wants to buy a NFL team.
Bet.
So maybe then they can make a deal out for that. I don't know who he's looking to purchase, or how to get into the league.
I mean, you do have Jay-Z, owning as well. You do have a bunch of artists that are trying to own football teams, but you got to remember, I mean, Jay-Z can afford more than just one. He's doing okay. Jay-Z's doing more than okay.
Yeah.
He's got the baddest chick wearing his chain. You feel me?
Are you talking about Becky?
I'm done. Exactly, Jack. Exactly. That's exactly what it is. Oh my God. Yeah, with the good hair. Hair. Just Becky with the good hair. Drinking her lemonade. I'm done. Anyway, so that's what's going on. That's a little bit of some interesting news and some good news. Nothing about anybody dying or no Karens, No Karens. It's kind of nice.
What's the male equivalent of a Karen?
Kevin.
A Kevin?
Yeah. Apparently
Kevin
it's a Kevin
Karen.
now. Yeah. Costco Kevin.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. So Kevin and Karen, apparently. So, yeah. And then last night, I did a video where I was watching this. Speaking of Karens, there was this lady who was basically stopping this man from, he was using chalk and he was stenciling Black Lives Matter on the side of this little piece of property right in front of a house. So this lady, a Karen, came up and was like, okay, so we understand. We're totally cool with the signs and all of that. We're totally cool with that. But what you're doing right here is not right. Now, he's like, I don't understand. It's chalk. I'm just putting Black Lives Matter in chalk. She's like, so what's your name? Do you know who the owner of this house is? And he's like, do you know who the owner of this house is? And she's like, actually, yes, I do. I do know. And he's like, really? Okay. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Call the cops. I want to see this owner. What's your name? And she's like, my name's Lisa. He's like, okay, I'll be right here when the cops get here. Only to find out that he owns the house that he was stenciling on. She tried to act like she knew the owner, like she knew her next door neighbor. Yet the next door neighbor was the one that was stenciling in chalk Black Lives Matter on the side of his house. Now he referred to himself as a brown a brown person. So just, it was just funny. I thought it was just really funny how he just was just playing with them. Like, all right, if you know who lives here, go get the owner. In fact, call the cops, bring the owner over here, only to find out the owner is him. So I thought that was funny. You know, this is Karens all day long. You know how it is. Karens. And I guess Kevins are the new equivalent, but I have yet to see. I don't know what's up with the Karens, though, because it's a thing, man. I'm seeing every time I open up my phone, there's a new Karen losing their damn mind. I don't get it. I really don't get it. But I don't see many men. I have yet to see very many men, you know? There's like a cicada infestation going on in one of your rooms.
Jack, I think that might be you.
Is there?
Is there a hissing noise where you're at right now, Jack?
There's some pipes that are making noises.
Oh, okay. It's like,
I'll mute it for a minute.
I'm like, oh my gosh. No, you're good. You're good. It's fine. I just thought it was like, dang, the cicadas came out. You know what I mean? They're here. They're prominent. They're out here. Anyway. So I just thought that was interesting. Interesting about Kaepernick. Karens, we just went on a little tangent. Sorry, guys. Had to go. What are you going to say, Tom?
I'm assuming somebody's taken the band name the Karens by now. Or the Raging Karens or something.
Oh, I'm sure. It's a punk band. Watch.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And they probably write every song about every single Karen that's ever gone viral. Take that. That's my gift to you guys, whoever wants to come up with that band. And just, you know what I'm saying? Like Niloceros, you know?
Yes.
They should just like do all songs about Karen. Isn't that a album? Songs about Karen or something like that?
Songs about Karen. It seems like
something like that.
It sounds like it could be an album, like a, I don't know, maybe like a James Taylor album or something.
Oh, good God. Ooh, I've seen fire and I've seen rain. Like, oh my dear God. Thank you. Deep song. I'm not going to lie. Random tangent, but yes, deep song. Anyway, what else is going on in the world, Tom? What else is going on?
The Supreme Court decision yesterday.
Actually, hold up.
Discrimination against
Tom,
LGBT workers.
Tom,
that's some good news.
Yeah, hold on to that. Hold on to the Supreme Court thing real quick, because I want to hold on to that one, because that's going to be a chunk.
All right.
There is. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I thought you were going to go somewhere else.
You asked.
I know you went there, and I'm like, damn. Okay, but I'm just playing. The one other thing is that we have been seeing and witnessing. We have been witnessing now in St. Louis, in our own city. We have been seeing statues being taken down. The Christopher Columbus statue that is known to be in Tower Grove, which is a very, very popular park here in St. Louis. There's an iconic spot, like this cul-de-sac in the middle of Tower Grove Park, where we have a statue of Christopher Columbus just sitting there. It's been there for many, many years. That statue has now been taken down. It happened this morning, where there were groups of people either with the extraction of this statue, and there were people who were against that statue. And it's wild, because we are now starting to see throughout the entire country just statues of, just symbols and statues of men, mainly men, obviously, that have done things for the country or against the country, for everything from Confederacy to Christopher Columbus. Statues are now being taken down. This one, though, was actually taken down by a company. It was actually the city decided to take it down. So it wasn't vandalized. It wasn't ripped down by the people or by an angry mob or anything of that sort. It was literally taken down by the city, which was nice, because that statue just, they took it out, they put it away, and now it's gone. Christopher Columbus statue in Tower Grove Park is now no more. And I thought that was really weird. And it's a small bit, but I just wanted to talk about that really quick. You know, what do you guys think on that whole thing?
Good. Christopher Columbus was a psychopath. But in every every definition of the word, Christopher Columbus was a psychopath. I mean, we're talking about a guy that would feed Native American children to dogs in front of their horrified parents. He'd cut people's arms and, hands and feet and tongues off and ears off for minor infractions. He'd have Native Americans go out and find him gold. And if they didn't find enough gold, he'd permanently maim them.
That's so crazy.
He was an absolute psychopath. And I mean, even to put it in historical perspective, even for 15th century explorer, he was a psychopath.
Yeah.
He was called out by his own men as being particularly cruel. He and two of his brothers, I believe, spent some time in jail for their cruelty. So, good. Get him out of there. He's scum.
And yet he still ended up being in history books. The Christopher Columbus and sailed the seven seas, whatever it is. It's so weird that someone so tyrannical, I guess, so sadistic would be in the history books and honored in such a way. All this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird. It's like they didn't put all that stuff into the Bible either. Huh. So weird.
See,
all these countries that we expanded out into, and all these places that were taken over by other people that were memorialized because they just wiped away other people's history. So weird.
Wow. You know that Jack is going to go somewhere really cynical just by the tone and how he ever so gently puts his fingers, his thumb and his index right over his eyeballs.
Just to limit the amount of headache I get thinking about it.
Yeah, man. But yeah, that is very interesting. I just thought it was a cool move. I was very excited about that because I know that a few years ago there was a huge problem. There was another statue that they were trying to take down. I don't remember exactly where, but it was in St. Louis, and there was a huge debate, huge protests going on where people did not want them to take down this statue. Do you guys remember this at all?
Yeah, I think it was a Confederate memorial.
Memorial.
I could be wrong.
Yes, it was. It was a Confederate memorial, and people were really upset about it.
Yeah.
And it was just this ongoing issue, and it's like, no, man, this stuff does not represent anything good. It's nothing but bad things about the country. So that is gone. Anyway, we're going to go into a quick commercial break. And when we come back, I did a thing last night where I was talking to all you lovely people, part of all you Pascal Show fam, and was telling you that I was going to go watch this movie by Spike Lee called The Five Bloods. And a lot of you guys agreed to go and watch it with me. So we're going to discuss the show, or we're going to talk about the movie here after this break. So if you haven't seen it or you have seen it, be sure and interested in just hearing what we think about it and my particular review of it. Please definitely stick around because you're going to want to be a part of this discussion. We'll be right back. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
You're going to perform tonight? I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is going to leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. For more
Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. Defensive is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers and trucking for tweakers and losing their self because their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. People some feelings they made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degrading for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. I mean, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
I'm sorry, I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else so we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And like I always say, if this is your first time checking out this show, please go hit that like button on our Facebook page. That would really mean a lot. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, to my YouTube fam, crush that subscribe button. That would really, really mean a lot. Okay, we got to go into this because I talked about it on the show last night. And I said I was going to go and sit down and watch a movie on Netflix. And you guys agreed to watch it with me, so I'm excited to see who watched it and what you guys thought of the movie. And the movie is The Five Bloods. It is a Spike Lee joint. And if you guys don't know who Spike Lee is, he did another movie where he just won an Oscar for adapted screenplay for The Black Klansman, which is an amazing movie. And if you haven't seen that, you need to go see it. It is damn good. Definitely worth every single minute of time that you spend on that movie. So I got a chance to see this movie. It's called The Five Bloods. It's currently streaming on Netflix right now as we speak. And the synopsis on here says, 4 African-American vets battle the forces of man and nature when they return to Vietnam, seeking the remains of their fallen squad leader and the gold fortune he helped them hide. Sounds very interesting, right? Damn right. So, this movie has a lot of really... Okay, so let me just say this. It's Spike Lee. Spike Lee's dope. But he does have some moments where he's not very good. He doesn't have it's not like he has a lot of bad movies, but I wouldn't say that this is one of his best ones. I wouldn't say that at all. I personally, when I watched the movie, I felt like there was a lot of themes that he wanted to do, and I felt like he was jamming them all into one movie. There were so many different themes that were going on that you just kind of were like, okay, I feel this. I see what he's going with it, but it's not fully thoroughly thought out. There were themes that he had in the movie that there was just no catharsis. There was just no full thought out endings or resolution to certain things. And because I don't want to ruin anything I don't want to ruin anything for anyone who hasn't seen the movie, but there's a father and son dynamic that's in this movie that I felt like was never resolved at all. And there's just a lot of things that I feel like he was trying to accomplish in one movie that just never got to be finished off. Like a really nice present, but the ribbons haven't been tied into a bow. They're just laying there. You know, so you see his intent, but it wasn't fully thought out, I felt. So that's one thing. That was one of my main problems. The dynamic and the relationship between all four main characters were really great. You could see that there's a brotherhood, that they're friends, that like they're the best, even though they haven't been around each other in years, type of thing. You could tell the actors they're good actors. There's a great chemistry between all of them. But at the same time, I feel like what was lacking might have just been based through the script. The fact that there was just a few things. Well, there's a lot of things. There was a lot of things in the script. But I just felt like there was so much that they left or did not write in there that seemed missing a lot in the movie. Now here's the thing. Spike Lee is all about trying to educate your ass while trying to entertain you at the same time, especially when it comes to Black history in many different ways. Now, what he did with this one was it was a lot of Black history within the military, within wars. He brought in a lot of facts that were really mind-blowing that I personally didn't even know, which was really amazing. But I also felt like some of that kind of pushed the narrative of the actual movie way off kilter to the point where you're not really fully enjoying the movie. You're just getting a lot of facts Like it's like almost as if it goes into this documentary type of style thing, you know, with facts and information, which is great and amazing information, but it felt like two different movies smashed into one. In fact, it felt like there were several different movies smashed into one into this movie. There was one actor that I thought was really, really great with the material he was given. Just because of the material he was given, he did act the hell out of it. Delroy Lindo, he's the main character, and you can see that the turmoil and the things that he's going through and the stuff that he's dealing with within this whole movie was really, really amazing. He did an amazing job. There was one part my eyes welled up with tears, like I felt his pain. But I felt like it was only because he's just that good of an actor. It had nothing to do with the actual material itself. You see what I'm saying? You know, and one of the things is that these are all Vietnam vets that are coming back to get the remains of an old friend. So they're all, I mean, it's just, you know, they're going back to Vietnam after 40 some odd years, you know. So these are old men that are all going back to Vietnam to go retrieve the remains and to retrieve this fortune, this gold that's buried with their friend. And so you get to see like there were certain aspects of each person like that have been coping with being, you know, in war, the aftermath of being in war, being a vet, dealing with injuries, dealing with PTSD, and how they were all either self-medicating or just how they deal with it themselves, which was an amazing aspect of the movie and which I really enjoyed as well. But one of the things, all in all, I just really felt that the movie could have been simplified tremendously. There was way too many things going on to the point where when people, because ish hits the fan, like it gets real in the movie, obviously, and people die. And I just felt like when people did die, I felt like they died unjustly. In a way, like, what I mean by unjustly, I mean like I didn't feel anything for them. I didn't feel bad for him. I didn't go, oh no, I loved him. Nah, because it just felt like, one, the way they died built no tension whatsoever. It just came out of nowhere. And then the characters never even got a chance to react to the fact that people were dying. Just seemed like, oh, he's dead, let's move on. And that was it. That was one of the biggest problems I had with the movie. Biggest problems. You have these guys who are friends for many, many years, decades. And when, I'll say it now, I'm sorry for the small little spoiler, but when one of them dies, there's no feeling. There's no remorse. There's no nothing. It's just whatever, moving on. Just seems a little weird. Seems a little weird. Now, I understand the casualties of war. I understand that sometimes when ish hits the fan, you gotta keep it moving. But it just felt like all that buildup of them having those friendships and that strong bond, and this is a group of men that been together. They're bloods, you know, they call each other blood all day long and everything. And then all of a sudden, when one of them dies, no one cares? Doesn't make sense. You're telling me that 40 years of friendship ain't nothing? Just seems weird to me. So, out of 5 stars, I give this a 3 at best. 2.75 stars at best. I thought it was very watered down. I was very disappointed in a lot of what I was expecting it to be. I thought it could have been a lot better. And like I said, I just wish that things were more thought out. I wish things were more thought out, to be really honest. Because it's Spike Lee, for crying out loud, man. It's Spike Lee. You're expecting him to, like, you know, you're expecting him to go in there and, like, kill it. And a lot of it was, there was a lot of Apocalypse Now references, and there was a lot of other things that were in there that just, there was just a lot of famous war movie references in the movie. But then it was almost as if, like, he was trying to be funny. Like, he tried to have comedy in there during the most detrimentally sad moments in the movie as well. Like I said, it just didn't make sense. And then there was one more thing that kind of drove me a tiny bit nuts. What is his name? What is this guy's name? Hold on, I'm looking for it. I think it's this guy. Yes, Jonathan Majors. Jonathan Majors played David, and he plays Delroy Lindo's son, okay? Now, to me, the entire time, he seemed like he was the comedic role. Like, he was supposed to be the funny one out of the group. Yet, he wasn't funny. That was the issue. It just seemed so awkward for him to be there in general. It just was, like I said, it was just definitely a movie you stream. It's definitely a movie you wouldn't go see in the theaters. I'm glad it was on Netflix and not like, hey, you got to go and see this in the theaters. I would have been really pissed off once I left. I would have been really, really pissed off. So, yeah. 2.75 stars at best. I mean, if you're bored, you got something, you want to see something, check it out. Chadwick Boseman is in it as well, but then he's not in it as much. You expect to see him a lot more, but he's not. And then, like I said, there's just a lot of scenes. Like, I don't want to ruin it all for you guys, but there's just scenes like where things happen and you just don't feel anything for these people. You just don't. It's like, whatever. And you should be feeling something for these characters. You know, that's the whole purpose of watching these movies, to be taken on this journey and emotionally get attached to certain characters. And I did not get attached to any of these characters. I literally looked at my phone, looked at my watch 2 or 3 times throughout the entire thing going, this is still going. All right. So, nah. Not the best one. Not the best Spike Lee movie. Yeah. Yeah, I was expecting it to be much better. Just to be completely honest.
Yeah, this Black Klansman was amazing.
Yes. That was a good one.
Yeah.
And here it is. Spike Lee, not sitting here saying that he's bad. He's got some great movies. Do the Right Thing. Yeah. Malcolm X. She Hate Me is even good. You know what I'm saying? Jungle Fever's good. Yeah, all those. All those are really, really fantastic. And that's just the tip of the iceberg of what he's done. The Inside Man, shoot. He's got a lot of really great movies out there. But then he's got some bad ones too, where you're like, we didn't need to see that. You know? 25th Hour is also dope. I loved 25th Hour. I thought that was a fantastic movie. You know? It's just, like I said, I wouldn't say this is one of his best. Or maybe he shot it knowing that it was only going to go on Netflix. But you go out of your way, you go to freaking Vietnam to shoot this whole movie, to do something authentic. You feel like you would put it, he would just put all into it. And it, like I said, just seemed very, very lackluster at best. Like I said, Now, there's other people that really enjoyed it. But for me, it's trending number 1 on Netflix right now as we speak. But I just, yeah. Tanovane just said, and V Ness watched it. She said, I loved it. Queen Empress just said, and I'm going to read the other ones too. Sorry. Queen Empress just said, Pascal, Spike can't afford Chadwick on a Netflix budget. No, that's true facts. That's true facts. Like, they brought him in, they did their stuff, he was part of it, and then they sent him on his way. He made his money, he did his debut, he was in the movie. He really is in the movie, but it's not like he's sprinkled in there. And like I said, there's just so much that they could have done more of. And there's a relation, the bond between Lindo's character, Paul, the relationship between Paul and Norman, Storm and Norman, just seemed like they just talked about it. They said it, but you never saw their bond. They would say, "Oh, Paul and Norman were so tight. They were hella tight with each other." But then you never see a scene with them together. And it's like, well, why are you not showing the bond? You should be showing the damn bond. I want to know what we're expecting here. I want to know why he's so sad and so messed up. And they didn't even do that. That's what really angered me. That's what really, really angered. I'm like, they have a bond. Where's the bond? Not one scene together until like until much, much later. But it's after the fact. It's way after the fact, Tanu Vane, I really disliked. They didn't bother with convincing makeup to make the older actors look young. I couldn't agree more. Or old enough to be Vietnam veterans. Ages were weird all around. Thank you. Yes, so there was another thing, guys. They would do flashbacks, right? And in these flashbacks, the old men, the men that were the characters, the actors, were with Chadwick Boseman, but none of them were young. They looked the exact same age. They didn't do any de-aging. They didn't do any kind of makeup, anything of any sort. They just said, yeah, you're in war. Yeah, they're not going to see your faces that much. No, we saw your faces. They look old. Especially when they're trying to run and stuff. Some of them can't really move that much. They old. But then you got Chadwick Boseman running around like flipping around. You know what I mean? Young and stuff. And you got these 70-year-old men trying to run after him and stuff. It was weird. Why? You know what I'm saying? You couldn't bring in other actors to play those characters? Right quick? Nah? All right. So you're gonna keep them like that. They're gonna look exactly the same age as they are now. All right. Then that's really what happened, Queen Empress said it seemed rushed. Yes. It felt like he was trying to tell a story, but kept getting off track. Thank you. Exactly, Queen. It just felt like he was he was like, oh, I got this great idea, and I got this great idea, and I got this great idea, and I got to put that in, and I got to make sure I have that in, and oh, there's the father-son dynamic. I got to make sure that's in there. Or, like I said, there was just certain parts where it's just like there's no connection. Nobody cares about each other. The hell? Homeboy, somebody dies in a horrific way. No one reacts to it. No one reacted to it. And everybody who watched it that's commenting right now knows exactly what I'm talking about. Homeboy liked to back it up. He'd like to back it up. That's all I'm going to say. And then all of a sudden, some terrible thing happens, and it's like, what? No one cares? No one? Okay. So this is that kind of movie. Like I said, beautifully said from Queen Empress. Hella rushed. Just hella rushed. But I'm glad that everybody got to watch it with me. That was really cool. Or watch it, either this morning or last night and just sit down and watch it. I'm sorry it was that movie. But, I'm planning on doing that kind of thing more often. Just trying to get everybody to sit down, watch a movie so we can all talk about it, And Queen said 3 out of 5 and 3 is for Chadwick and Delroy. Yeah, Delroy and Chadwick Boseman. Chadwick, you can't really say much about it because he had a very small role. For the most part, he was just a cameo, if you will. But Delroy did a really good job with what he was given. And what he was given seemed like, I feel like they were writing it as they were shooting it. And I've seen movies like that. I've been on sets with movies like that where they're shooting the movie and it's just a scene and it just says the title, like, Tom and Mike in kitchen. That's it. And then they're like, all right, we're going to make it up as we go right now. And I feel like a lot of it was like that in a lot of ways. Tano Vane, I do like they didn't use a dark filter, so the jungle was actually pretty. Only real positive, I think. Chadwick was good, but I'd like to see him in an action movie. Yeah, where he's not the Black Panther. Sure. A realistic action movie. Sure. I would definitely want to see that too. But yeah, man, so that was what we witnessed, or that's what I watched. That's, the Five Bloods. It was kind of disappointing. But it was nice to see all those actors that probably have not had a decent gig in a while. Because, I mean, just to be really honest, if you're not young, like a young black actor in Hollywood, it's really hard to find gigs. So, it was almost like Grumpy Old Men meets Apocalypse Now meets one of Tyler Perry's really bad movies. And then smash them into one. Oh, and sprinkle a little bit of Black Panther in there. Pepper it in. Pepper. Like one shake. And that's it. And then you got the Five Bloods. So there was a lot of stuff that was shot really beautifully. But yeah, I would just say that was it, yeah. So that's what I saw. That's what the hell did I just watch? For sure. Anyway, there it is. Moving on. Because the guys.
How many Pascals did he give it?
I gave it 2.75.
2.75
Pascals. Two, like basically 2 and 3/4. It was.
I know
2 3/4 stars.
Means.
Say again, what?
I said I know what 0.75.
I was just trying to help out. That was a little Star Search throwback. If you guys don't remember that, little Tommy gets 2 3/4 stars. You know what I'm saying? Anybody remember that? Nobody? That's a deep cut, isn't it? Yeah, that's a deep cut. You don't remember? Nobody remember Star Search? Star Search?
I'm younger than you.
Wow. Okay. May God have mercy on all of your souls. You're missing out. Anyway, so what else is going on in the world, guys? Tommy, speak on it.
Can we talk about the LGBTQ? Or
yes,
are we
you
putting
can.
it off still?
Yes. So let me lead into it. So there's some good news in regards in the world of for the LGBTQ community right now. It looks like the Supreme Court has banned discrimination against the LGBTQ plus community. Tommy boy, speak on it.
Yeah, there was a ruling yesterday in the Supreme Court that said that employers cannot discriminate against their employees for their sexual orientation or if they are trans, which is a huge step in the right direction. I know the Trump administration was trying to roll back some of those protections, but the Supreme Court came out. They defined sex in Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act as extending to transgendered and homosexual, gay, lesbian, LGBTQ+. So it's now the law of the land that you cannot discriminate in the workplace against trans individuals or any member of the LGBTQ community based on their sexual orientation or gender.
Now, I think this is really great, obviously, but I didn't know that this didn't even already exist, which is weird to me. This is now a thing, whereas I thought it was already a thing a long time ago. I thought it was a bill that was already passed years ago. So this is all very news to me.
There were state laws were around. I think 22 states had laws with comprehensive measures against employment discrimination. Mm-hmm. But up until yesterday, there were 28 U.S. states that lacked comprehensive measures against employment discrimination for members of the LGBTQ plus community. So it's a big day. And they say this is the biggest day for that community since gay marriage became the law of the land. So it's a big deal.
It's huge. I mean, it's fantastic news. I'm very excited about it. I think that's really, really amazing news. But then at the same time, it's like, all right, you did that for the LGBTQ plus community. What about the BLACK community too? What about us? I'm just curious. You're doing this. That's great. That's fantastic news, and I'm very excited. That's huge in the movement. But we also have another problem over here too. So what about that though? Why is that being held? Why is that being held back, or why is that taking so damn slow, taking so damn long? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, in fairness, the Civil Rights Act of 1964 banned this sort of discrimination against African Americans. So,
facts.
That's been on the books since 1964. But you're right. There are obviously more things to take care of now. But for the LGBTQ plus community, it's a big day yesterday.
Yeah.
Can't get fired for being gay anymore or being transgendered.
So it's so weird that before this thing was passed, you could have been working at a Chick-fil-A, came out as gay or came out as non-binary or transgender, and they would have had the right to fire you if they wanted to.
Yep.
That's really weird.
Yeah. There were, I think one of the cases involved, I mean, it would give you an example. I think one of the cases cited was a skydiving instructor who was, they do tandem jumps.
Yeah.
And a woman, she was sitting in front of this guy, and you're kind of, you're in close quarters when you're doing that tandem jump. Jump.
Hey.
That was a Freudian slip.
Hey.
But yeah, your junk is in close proximity to the other person's junk. But the woman said something along the lines of, "I hope this isn't uncomfortable for you," or something like that. He said, "Oh, don't worry about me. I'm gay. I don't care." And I guess she mentioned that to the owner, and the owner fired him because he said, "You shouldn't be out there telling people you're gay." And he was like, "Well, if I told her I was straight, would you fire me?" So
right. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's a huge day. Huge day for the community.
Yeah,
once in the blue moon, we'll find a time when a cake bakery can't not make a cake for someone because they're gay. So
see, now I felt like that was something different.
Yeah.
In comparison to somebody being fired for being gay.
Oh yeah.
Like one thing is baking a cake for somebody, and I'm not sitting here justifying this at all, but I'm just saying one thing is going, no, I will not bake that cake, right? But then, somebody who's working at said bakery and getting fired because they are gay. There's, you know what I'm saying? There's a little bit of a difference, but at the same time, I've heard the story about the baking cake thing. That was wild. That was some wild stuff, and that shouldn't even happen. But I didn't know that like a place could literally say, "Nope, you can't work here anymore, Tom." Why? Oh, because you just came out as non-binary. That's not cool. We can't support that. That's ridiculous, and that's weird to me. Not saying that you are non-binary, Tom, but you know what I'm saying. It's just weird.
But if I was, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Well, then, I would have fired you by now, but now I can't anymore. Damn. I would have fired you. Shoot. Should have got into that fast enough, like, man. Now I could get into trouble.
There were some, obviously the news of this is extremely good news, but in the details of it, there's some good news too, because two of the conservative justices on the Supreme Court joined the liberal majority in the decision. Neil Gorsuch, who's a 2017 Trump appointee to the court, voted in favor of the ruling, as did Chief Justice John Roberts, who was a Bush appointee. So this looks like, hopefully has long-term implications for the court as more cases, will undoubtedly go before them. It looks like, at least on this issue, the gay community has a couple of allies that maybe they didn't know they had on the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Things are changing. Mr. Super just said, Robert slowly keeps moving left, or he's constant and we've been moving right. That's funny. But yeah, It's a nice surprise. It's a nice surprise.
Yeah.
You know, didn't think that was going to happen, but at the same time, this is something that has been in the works for a while, but it got stopped, if I'm correct. Didn't it get stopped by the Trump administration for a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I think the Trump administration, let's see. I don't really have details on that.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Do you?
No, that's totally fine. No. It's okay. You don't have to have all the answers all the time, brother. It's okay. Yeah. No, I just thought because I thought it was something interesting because I think it was like Obama's the Obama administration tried to get it up off of the ground, but then it got stunted for a while by a Tennessee judge, and then obviously it got resurfaced. They tried to pass that bill, but the Trump administration apparently tried to stop it as well. But then it got, I don't know, but now it's getting passed. So it's like great. That's great news. You know, that's really, really great news, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, I think, okay, well, I found a bit here. It says Trump's administration joined the employers in arguing that Congress did not intend for Title VII of the 1964 Civil Rights Act to protect gay and transgender people when it was passed by law. Gorsuch conceded that point, but said that what mattered was the law's text. So, yeah. But at the same time, Trump also said yesterday, he said Trump called the ruling very powerful and said they've ruled and we live with their decision. Supported by evangelical Christian voters, Trump has taken actions to have undermined gay and transgender rights since taking office in 2017. So, yeah, I mean, it sounds like he was not wanting this to necessarily go that way, but he stands by the way it turned out.
I'm sorry. That's funny as hell. That's funny. Say that again one more time and tell me that isn't laughable. Just say it again. Say it again. One more time.
All right. What did he say? I'm not going to say it. I already said it. I'm not saying it.
I'm saying it's funny because he said, it's not like he really wanted it to go that way, but he's still happy it went that way. You said something along the lines of that.
Well, yeah, he didn't want it to go that way, but he stands by the decision of the court,
right?
Which he should. There's
of course
equal three separate branches of government, and they are equal. So yes, he should stand by the Supreme Court decision. So
it's just funny, though, you know. It's just funny. That's all. If it works out that way, cool. If it doesn't, then great.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. This makes no sense to me. Well, moving on from other stuff to other stuff, I understand that there was a bombing in a North Korea office, if I'm correct. That was an office that was used to stay in communication with South Korea. Right. What is that? What is going on with that, Jack?
So I guess earlier in the week or last week, Kim Jong-il's sister had put out a statement saying that the defectors in the South and like the people that they're sending like balloons over from the South into the North with like propaganda, and she's said that the border office hasn't done enough work to stop things from happening, and that it's a disgrace, and there's basically using her words of thugs and everything. So she said that they were going to take action, and there was going to be a big event to show what she meant. And so they bombed the Inter-Korean Liaison Office near the border in Kaesong. And I don't know if anybody was injured or not. It was done during the night. I imagine that some people would be present. It's a 4-story building, and it's like split between the two sides. So there's a North Korean side and a South Korean side, and it's in the demilitarized zone. and it was completely destroyed. They said by a terrific explosion. So I don't know. It seems like that's a heightened military, event.
A terrific explosion is an understatement because I saw the footage and they leveled that entire building, and it's not like it's some little tiny building. I mean, it was a full on. I mean, it was a building, and they just destroyed the entire thing. So I don't know what that exactly means. But then on top of that, I have not seen one, and we were talking about this before we started the show this morning. I have not seen one tiny image of Kim Jong-un. Does this mean that is he around? Is he even alive? Like, that's the question. Like, remember he went to surgery. They said he was in critical condition. We all speculated that him did, but then he's not, apparently. But his sister's still running things, if I'm correct. She's still in charge right now, right, guys?
Yeah, it seems like it. Yeah.
So wait. So is him dead or not? Him dead, right?
Not that. I mean, it seems like he's out and about. They released photos of him the other week, but whether or not that was something from current or not, who knows if it's a display of misdirection or not.
I mean, was he walking around and stuff, like pointing at things and going, "Oh yeah"?
They shared a photo of his sister with him, and then I don't know. He said that he was at other sites, like doing inspections and things like that too.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. He 100% could be dead, or
because there's no way
his sister might be taken over.
There's no way that he could be sitting there. I mean, if he was in critical condition, then we hear nothing of him being okay, like in better shape. And then all of a sudden we just see him walking around going, "Oh, I like planes and tanks. Look at that one. Oh, look at that one. Let's bomb a plane." Like, it just seems weird. Yet she's still in control. For a fact he would have been like, "Hey sis, sit down. I got it. Thanks for holding the fort for a little bit." But he'd be up here taking over. So you're telling me I don't know. Just things that make you go, And that's the thing. Mr. Super just said, a woman leader has to show a heavy hand in a masculine culture. We've seen this play before. But if she is, like, she's still running stuff. And if it was a masculine culture, wouldn't Kim Jong-un kick her to the curb real quick and say, "Thanks, sis. You can step down now. I got it from now on"? But if she's still calling the shots, is he really still in critical condition? Is him dead? Something to think about. Because for a fact, I heard that she's worse than him. Worse than him.
At the end of April, the South Korean president said that, to their knowledge, Kim Jong-un is alive and well, and he's been staying in the Wonsan area since April 13th with no movements detected so far. So as of late April, early May, they said that they're monitoring him, and he was still alive. So I don't know if they provide any actual photos of his train or anything like that where they can see him.
Yet he hasn't left the building since late April, early May? Bruh. Come on. It's almost the end of June.
Hey, he's quarantining.
That's deep. That's hella quarantining. Damn. He's quarantined deep. Nah. Or he's still in some serious critical condition, but I don't know, man. This seems fishy to me. It's fishy. She's still running things, but then they're showing footage of him walking around. I don't know. I need to see him. I need to physically see him. You know what I mean? Like, I want to see somebody holding up the day's newspaper right next to, or him holding it up himself and pointing at it. A live video of him like, "Hey, I'm here. Today's the date. I'm alive." You see what I'm saying? or Trump meeting with him and shaking his hand. Something. It just doesn't seem right. You know? Anyway, I just think it's interesting. Very interesting, you know? Do you not agree, my friends?
I think it's interesting, but North Korea is always blustering. You know, they blow. I mean, you know, I think they know that if they ever really attacked South Korea or Japan, that would be the end of North Korea. I mean, their only ally is China, and China knows what side of the bread is buttered. You know, they're not gonna side with North Korea over the United States if the stuff goes down. So, you know,
if the ish goes down, you better be ready, right? Well, we'll see about that. Here's another random thing. Moving on from bombing places. Is something completely different. The FDA approves video games for treating kids with ADHD. That's very interesting. So finally, all your kids out here are going to finally have an excuse to play video games because it's going to treat their attention deficit disorder. Tom, what's up with this, man?
Yeah, the Food and Drug Administration, for the first time, approved a video game for treating attention deficit disorder and hyperactivity disorder in children. The FDA said Monday the game, which is built by Boston-based Akili Interactive Labs, can improve attention function. The game is called Endeavor RX, and it requires a prescription to purchase. So you need a prescription to get this video game.
Really?
Yeah.
Why can't they just like put this into like Call of Duty or Fortnite or Minecraft or something like that? You see what I'm saying? Like, why can't they just integrate it into one of those games that the kids already love to play like crazy? Wouldn't that be easier? Wouldn't that be better? Trust me, these kids would be like playing it all day long, all day, every day. The kids are not going to want to play a game, no game called Endeavor RX. No, seriously. Imagine being a kid. You have your friends over, and they're looking at your video game, you know, collection, and all of a sudden they're going through the Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto, Minecraft, Fortnite, and then they come up with Endeavor RX. Do you know how much BS that kid is going to get? How much he's going to be made fun of for having that particular video game? Put it in the video games. Put it like what is it in there? What is it? Does it omit some sort of drug out of the actual video game console that you know what I'm saying? Is there Adderall that's going out of the you see what I'm saying? Like out of the video game consoles? You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't make sense.
Wait, if it's
put it in the video games
and they let their friends play it, can they get arrested?
Yeah, that's
exactly
good question.
Could they get arrested or could they get addicted? Could they get addicted? That's the question. Is it an addictive game? Is it a highly addictive? Think about all the games they're already playing. They're already addictive. Think about it, guys. You see what I'm saying? Interesting.
Yeah, the video game apparently shows a... Sorry, what's that, Jack?
They're going to have subliminal messaging in it. You don't have ADHD. You don't have ADHD.
Sit down and study.
Vote Trump. Vote Trump. That's bad.
Well, the video game shows a character traveling a race course-like path on a hoverboard. So right off the gates, to me, that sounds like it's similar maybe to Subway Surfers or, you know, the iPhone app. But I don't know. It'll be interesting to see, A, if it works, and B, how many people actually use it.
Word. No kid is going to sit there and go, oh, what? Mom. And the mom's begging the kid to go play Endeavor RX. Imagine that. Go play your video games. No. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to play that game. Imagine that. That's crazy.
That was always the worst. You remember that when you were a kid and you'd see like under the Christmas tree a video, what was clearly a video game package. You recognized it by its shape. And you're like, oh man, I bet that's a new Mario Brothers or Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. And you'd open it up and it'd be some like boring, terrible game that like your grandma got you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, hey, it's the Hunt for Red October video game. Oh, great.
Yep.
This thing sucks.
Or
you realize they have a Mario game out now, right?
Yeah, you realize all the cool games are not in the $5 bin at Best Buy. But thanks.
Quantity over quality.
Thanks for the math. It's like a math equation video game thing. They used to have those, and they would be like for $5. They used to be for like $5, man. And of course, you're getting those as like little stuffer, stocking stuffers, So when you're opening up, they're like, what is this? And of course, you put it into play just to see what it would do. And it's the stupidest, most whack-ass game you've ever seen. You know what I'm saying?
Like, what is Mac-Man?
Yeah, what was Mac-Man? Oh, Lord of mercy.
It's like the knockoff video games.
I remember when I was a kid, we had an Apple IIc. You remember the old Apple IIc? Yeah, we had an Apple IIc, and every game we had for it was educational. And I was under the impression that was the only type of game they made for the Apple IIc. And it wasn't until like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I was talking to another friend of mine who had an Apple IIc, and he's like, oh yeah, we had Donkey Kong and Pac-Man and like Mario Brothers and all that stuff. I'm like, my parents are lying to me that whole time. I was sitting there playing Math Blaster and stupid junk like that. So.
You're like, my parents are whack as hell. Oh, they don't want to let me have the fun games like Echo, Sega Genesis.
Echo, the Dolphin.
Look at the big brains on Tom now, though. So.
Yeah, no kidding.
It all worked out.
No, I think my parents are owed a refund from the Apple Corporation. I don't know.
They gave me ADHD.
Honestly, the game I remember playing the most on there was a Name That Tune game. And they had like 12 songs on it that they would just play, like MIDI file songs. It was like the theme from Green Acres. So I can now recognize the theme from Green Acres.
Wow.
That's as much as I learned from the Apple IIc. It's what a really bad computerized version of the Green Acres theme sounds like. That was the sole entirety of everything I learned from the Apple IIc.
Thanks for that information. Thank you. Somebody just said Malia said Commodore 64 was her first video game console. I would hope. I hope the guy's name wasn't Commodore 64. That'd be a different. That's a whole other conversation. When a man loves a woman, but Commodore 64. I don't think I've ever seen that before. A Commodore 64. Have y'all seen?
It's like an old school computer. I mean, it's just a little small thing. I think it was like an all-in-one, like the hard drive and keyboard were like one thing together, and then like get a separate like console, like a monitor for it. It was old school.
Yeah, well, I remember we had that in I think my 4th grade classroom. We had a Commodore 64, which a lot of people don't realize this. That was a tie-in with the Commodores. Lionel Richie was the spokesperson for that. So.
Interesting. That's
no, I'm totally lying.
I was going to say useless knowledge there, but
that is not correct information.
Yes, I was going to say the Commodores. I get it. He's funny. No, but she said it came before the Amiga 500. I think the first computer I ever had was a Magnavox. Real talk. It was a Magnavox. Yeah. And it stayed in the corner in our cold-ass basement, just collecting dust and getting cobwebs on it because it was just there. Like, there was no point of the computer. It didn't have any word processing abilities or anything of that sort.
Oh, wow.
And then, when the internet became a thing, it was just like... When dial-up became a thing, it was just there, It was just pointless. Like I said, it just sat in the corner. MS-DOS and all that. And then, of course, there was like Wolfenstein, Like I was getting all these bootleg copies of video games and stuff and trying to play them on there, and it was just boring, too cold and boring in there.
Did you have the old dot matrix printer that would, you go to print something like,
wow. Yeah, I remember that stuff.
You remember that?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
You'd be printing something and like your neighbor would come over and be like, "Hey, are you printing something?"
Yeah,
yeah, I heard that.
It's like bing bong. Could you keep it down? We're trying to sleep over here. It's like, damn, it's that loud. Damn.
And you try to rip those perforated edges, and then they go like a Ryan. They just go right across the page. And you're like, oh god, I got to do it again.
See, you understand? You have to fold the sides.
I know.
First, and then you tear. You don't just it's gonna rip it apart. Then you have to print everything all over again, all of it too. Especially like when you've written like not a manifesto, but that'd be bad. Don't do it. It'll be bad. But when you gotta print out something like some huge paper and say it's that one page, it's that one, like the last page you F up. It's that last page, and that thing was not like, would you like to just print page 20? No, you got to print the whole damn thing all over again. Next thing you know, you got copies of copies of copies. All of them are all ripped up, and you're piecing them together because you've ripped 15 out of the other one, and you ripped 20 off the last one. It was terrible, man. Yeah, Tano Vane said, checking your email was a 5-minute process for signing up. From signing up. That's so true. It's like you're waiting, then all of a sudden you've got mail, and it's like, what, really? Finally? Then all of a sudden, once you finally open it up, you start hearing Mom, I'm online. Mom. Every single time. So Mom! Or you got sister. I have sisters, and they all wanted to get on the phone to gossip and talk to their girlfriends and all that. So you couldn't be on for very long, ever. So next thing you know, they're picking it up and they're like, screaming at you. I'm trying to make a phone call. It's like, I'm online. And then as soon as you picked up the phone, it was over. It was a wrap. You couldn't like pick it up and then go, oops, and click, hang it back up. As soon as you picked it up, it's over. It's like, damn, I was just downloading Wolfenstein.
You see, my parents went next level, and they got a second phone line installed.
Oh, mine did too.
Look at that. Yes. Look at you guys. Moving up.
And then
in the
occasionally,
world.
back in the day, the second line, you'd go to like pick up a phone, and like you could hear the neighbor talking.
Really?
And like there was like crossed lines somewhere, and like Mary, is that you?
That's weird.
Like, get off my phone!
Oh, you reminded me of some good times I had when I was a kid. I used to have those Fisher-Price walkie-talkies, and in the early days of cordless cell phones, or not cordless cell phones, just cordless phones, landlines. Those walkie-talkies would pick up my neighbor's wireless phones. So I could like listen in. I could only hear one side of the conversation, but I could hear what they were saying, and I'd just sit over there and eavesdrop on my neighbor's conversations. They never said anything interesting. It was just boring suburban talk. But,
you illegally wiretapped your neighbors?
Yeah, basically. With a Fisher-Price walkie-talkie.
That's hilarious. Trip down memory lane with all those archaic computers and ways of putting things together. That was so funny. Yeah. Now it's everywhere. We're using it now. It's funny as hell. Actually, I'm still using the Magnavox right now as we speak. Actually, that's why.
Some days I wonder.
Yeah. Oh man, Jenny just said, "Hey, Jenny, welcome to the show." Said when I was a teenager, we had a party line, so we shared service with other households. Oh,
yeah,
shared service with other households. That's a new one. we had a party line. So I've never heard of that before. A party line that you could share service with other households? Huh? So like one communal bill? That's confusing, right? Is that what you mean, Jenny? Because that's interesting.
Yeah, there's a party line is a local loop telephone circuit that is shared by multiple telephone service subscribers. Party line systems were widely used to provide telephone service, starting with the first commercial switchboards in 1878.
Bam.
Jennifer, were you around in 1878?
One of our oldest stores.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, that's a throwback idea. Idea.
Party line was cheaper by $3 back in the day. It was $4.40 to have a resident's private line, and then to have a party line, it was a private line was $7.40. A party line was $4.40.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, shoot. Well, that's interesting. That's some throwback stuff for sure. We're going to go into a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. Keep the comments going. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. Defensive is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their circles. Their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. We was a feeling that made it. Half of them stumbling around and they faded. They live in the world that's degrading for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back. As long as you don't squeeze them, they won't bite.
Yo, Mike, what's up, man?
Guy? Good to see you, man.
Yeah, so Sugar Fire.
Yeah.
Fully open, right?
Yeah, we're pretty much open. So you can't sit inside yet. Monday you can sit inside a little bit. We'll have 25% of the tables inside, and then we're letting it rip outside.
So I know that there's a lot of people really concerned about staying safe and all of that.
No,
so what are you guys doing in regards to that?
Well, and we have extra people to clean and rub everything down all the time. Everybody inside's wearing masks. And we have little stickers on the ground so everyone can stay 6 feet apart.
Right on.
The tables are all spaced out, inside and outside.
Sugar Fire, open in full effect right now. They're staying healthy, they're staying clean. Go get you a rack of ribs. Sugar Fire, open right now.
Thanks.
The Fur and Leather Center, providing the highest of fur and leather goods.
I'm sorry, I can't make this interview boring because this man is too exciting as a host. And I'm truly saying this, and if y'all can't do this, me and this man here is gonna leave and go somewhere else where we can get some love. I want everyone in the building to say, I love Pascal on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Wow.
Hey, welcome back, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Do me a favor, everybody. Please go hit that subscribe button if you're a first-time viewer. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Welcome to the being a part of the fam and all of that. Also, if you can, please hit that like button underneath this feed right now as we speak. If you're enjoying the conversation, a little bit of a throwback, a little bit of a trip down memory lanes and stuff. So I really do appreciate everybody being a part of it and just kind of running with us today. We are going to be ending our show a little bit earlier today. a little bit earlier than usual today. There's just a lot of stuff that we all have to do today. But I will be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. But before we go and say our goodbyes, we still have a few more things that we're going to be talking about. So let's get into it. I understand that there is a little bit of investigation going on in regards to Robert Fuller's hanging. If you don't remember, this is one of the men. He's one of the 3 men that were recently found hanging from a tree. Tom, let's speak on that real quick.
Yeah, the FBI, along with the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Central District of California and the U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division, are going to be monitoring the investigations into the deaths of Robert Fuller in Palmdale, California, and Malcolm Harsh in Victorville, California. Those 2 towns they were found hanging from trees 50 miles apart in Southern California. Local authorities said preliminarily they're ruling them suicides, that they said that there's no evidence to point to foul play. That obviously caused a lot of backlash from people saying they were trying to sweep a modern day lynching under the rug. The FBI and the agencies I just listed there, the U.S. Attorney's Office and U.S. Department of Justice's Civil Rights Division, they're going to kind of look over the shoulder of the local authorities and make sure that, so they say they're going to make sure that the investigations are complete, thorough, and on the up and up. So hopefully, if there is foul play there, there'll be justice, and hopefully we can trust those federal agencies to not try and sweep anything under the rug also.
Right.
But,
and I'm happy that they're at least going to investigate even more and really dive into it to make sure that all those families get the proper justice that they're looking for, instead of just saying, all right, oh, it's just an apparent suicide, bye. Right. So I am very happy that they're doing something about it and going at this in the right way. So that's really good news, actually.
Yeah, it is.
I'm happy about
it.
it.
They need to, if there wasn't cameras that were present in the parks, there must be cameras that were on the streets from local businesses around the area. They'll be able to see whether or not those individuals walked into the park themselves carrying all their things that would be used. And then if not, they're going to see someone being escorted or dragged or carried or, into the park. And, that's going to be, I don't know if these are places where cars can drive into, and then where the access points were and stuff. So, obviously there's a lot to look into, but hopefully they now will have that power to be able to go and get all of those surveillance tapes and be able to find something out.
Yeah. Like I said before the other night, yesterday's show, it's weird that they would all 3, let's just say those 3 men coincidentally killed themselves in the same fashion, in the same way, within days of each other. It doesn't make any sense. So I am very happy that they are looking into it. Because like I said, like I said before, it's like, was there some sort of Facebook meeting, Facebook chat group where they're just like, yeah, I'm going to do this thing on this day and this is how I'm going to do it. Why, and why would they do it in that fashion? It's just so weird to me. So I'm actually happy that they're really going to dive into this and do the right thing. So I'm happy about that for sure. It's great, great, great news. But anyway, let's go into this game, shall we?
Yes.
We got a little bit of something.
Yes.
We got a little bit of something.
Pop quiz, hot shot.
Yes.
This is not a image game today.
Good. It's just words.
You some information, but what this is basically about sequels in movies, but they had the main roles were replaced by different actors.
Ooh, okay.
And so
that's a good one.
Would you guys prefer to tell me the movie, or do you want to tell me the person that replaced the original person? What do you think you'll have a better chance at?
I would say I say the original person that was replaced.
You want to find out you want to be able to tell me the original person that was replaced?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's easier. I think that's easier because
Okay.
I already know that there's gonna be one. I'm just gonna ruin it already. But it would be really hard to say like Keanu Reeves Speed 2, or like it would be really hard to say Jason Patrick Speed 2. rather than just saying Keanu Reeves speed.
Gotcha. Okay.
See what I'm saying? I already know that's one of the questions. I already guarantee you it's one of those questions, right? If it's not, then I'm okay. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. All right, let's go. Right. One more thing, guys. If you guys are watching and be a part of it, comment down below. Tom and I will try to be slow on it. That's a lie.
Yeah, no.
That's a lie.
Too competitive. Sorry.
But anyway, y'all, just go ahead.
I miss when you had like a 6-second lag and I could just clean the house all day long. It's awesome.
Remember those
Long
times?
enough for Tom to be able to search and come back and still answer.
Hey, hey, I'm sorry that you guys have to deal with pristine internets now, but at the same time, damn are the breaks. Let's get it.
All right. So in 2012, the Hulk was replaced with Mark Ruffalo in the Avengers. Who was the previous Hulk?
Edward Norton.
Correct. Okay. In the Dark Knight trilogy, Maggie Gyllenhaal came in and filled in whose shoes?
Katie Holmes.
Okay. Tom, you playing? Are you on a delay now, Tom?
Yep. There. Darn internet.
Darn internet.
I'm just saying. I mean,
okay.
Go ahead.
So in Harry Potter, Michael Gambon was brought in to play Dumbledore, replacing.
Oh.
The one after they passed.
Yeah, good job. I don't know.
Oh, I forget his name.
Irish star Richard Harris. It was an epic beard.
Yes.
Okay.
It was. There we go.
In The Mummy, Maria Bello stepped in to replace the actress, or the person who played Evelyn Carnahan, who was the original Evelyn in The Mummy, first two movies.
I do not know.
Wait, repeat it one. Sorry, repeat it one more time.
The Mummy. The leading lady, which was Evelyn Carnahan, was replaced with Maria Bello. Who did she replace?
In The Mummy? You're talking about Brendan Fraser, The Mummy?
Yep.
Brendan Fraser? Are you saying what's her name? Rachel something?
Yeah, Rachel Weisz.
Rachel Weisz.
Oh.
Wow. Why do I even know that? Damn.
Yeah.
Good actress though.
All right. In Iron Man,
okay.
The part of James Rhodes. Was replaced with Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle.
Who was original?
Terrence Howard.
Yeah.
Correct.
He wanted more money.
There you go.
So they gave it to Don Cheadle. It's so messed up. He would have been making some monies though. Too bad for him.
I used to work for a place out of California called the Home Grocer, where people would call in, they place an order, and people would package up your stuff. It was basically like the first thing that everyone is doing, and then you'd have somebody go deliver your groceries to your house. And I got Don Cheadle placed an order, and I went and delivered groceries, and basically like for a party. It was like a whole bunch of liquor and food and stuff, probably like 30 bags of stuff. And I brought all the things in. He gave me $1 tip. $1 on like a $300 like.
He
order.
gave no, but this is before Avenger monies though.
Yeah, but he's still up in a really nice home. Like,
Still, it's Avenger monies. Like it was before Avenger monies. Right now, he probably give you $100 tip just cause.
But I don't like Don Cheadle because of that.
Damn. Well, he's cheap. That sucks.
Like,
Hey,
the worst actor in the world.
how the rich stay rich? How the rich stay rich, bruh? How the rich stay rich, Jack? How the rich stay rich? By not tipping people. Anyway, go ahead. $1? Wow. And you're sweating your balls off bringing in these bags and stuff. You're thinking, ooh, this is Don Cheadle. Bet. Oh, man. $1?
Like a $10 tip or something. You never know. But
damn.
All right.
Anyway.
It's gonna affect me though.
Yeah. you were seriously triggered, man. You were seriously you seriously are pressed. Anyway, let's go.
All right. So the Hannibal Lecter trilogy, and there was the leading lady was replaced.
Jodie Foster.
So, hold on. Jodie was replaced. Well, you already got Jodie Foster, so now you can tell me who replaced her.
Who replaced her?
Shoot.
Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, let's see here. I don't know how much you guys watch Harry Potter, but there's a character called Lavender Brown, and the actress. They say that this role got whitewashed when actress Jessie Cave was given the new role in The Half-Blood Prince. Two different actresses played the part before, and they were both black. And then in The Half-Blood Prince, it went to a white actress. Do you guys know either of the actresses' names? Although this was like a background character, minor character in the first two movies.
I couldn't tell you. Tom?
Kathleen Coley and Jennifer Smith, two young actresses.
Yeah, I was going to say then I don't know.
Yeah. Let's see. In the Back to the Future trilogy, let's see. The original actress dropped out of the sequel to care for her ill mother and was replaced with Elizabeth Shue. Who did she replace?
I can't remember that actress's name.
Elizabeth Shue. She was
She didn't. I know we're not going to get this one because she didn't really do anything after that, did she?
Jennifer Parker. It was Claudia Wells. So I don't know if she would have been in after that.
Yeah, I don't know who that. Okay, yeah. You got me on that.
And let's see. I'm going to grab one more here for you. In the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, April O'Neil was replaced with Fox. Who was the original April O'Neil?
Ooh.
You mean from like the 90s one? From
when
we were kids? Oh, I have no idea.
Hogue.
Oh?
Okay.
Togue?
Okay, do you want an easier one? Hogue. H-O-A-G. Hoag, or I think it's Hogue. Right here. In Batman. Okay. Christian Bale took over for which other Batman?
Ooh, good one.
Would that have been Val Kilmer?
Nope.
No, it was George Clooney.
Yep.
That was good.
So there's several more that are on here, but some of them are just really movies I had not heard of. So, or they're secondary roles. I don't know about Diary of a Wimpy Kid.
Oh, yeah, I don't know that one.
Yeah. Here you go. How about this one? An Interview with a Vampire. The
Interview with a Vampire.
Lestat Lioncourt was played by Stuart Townsend.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Cruise.
Who was the original person that was?
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise.
Nice. Okay. Well, that wraps it up, right?
I finally got a point in. All right.
Yeah.
One.
Well, here I want to do this one.
Okay.
I want to do a throwback.
Okay.
Bernie Mac took over this role, and hey, Bernie, I miss him. But Bernie Mac took over the role of Charlie in Charlie's Angels from who?
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray. Yep. All right, that's what I got.
Yeah, Lucy Liu slapped Bill Murray on the set of the original.
Because they hated each other.
Angels. Yeah.
They hated each other.
Yeah, they did.
They absolutely hated each other, which was funny because it seems like Bill Murray would get along with everybody, and Lucy Liu. Oh, you've heard he's difficult.
I've heard he can be. I've heard he's. Yeah, I've heard he can be very nice, and I've heard he can be very.
Bill Murray.
Cold.
Bill Murray.
He can be very Bill Murray.
Yeah.
What About Bob? Great movie, by the way.
Oh, that's such a great movie.
One of my favorite old school classic comedies. Such a good movie. Such a good movie. But
don't hassle me. I'm local. It's Shirty has.
Yeah.
You told me to take a vacation, and I did.
Now, what the that's interesting. Did we talk about it on the show that Bill Murray got arrested trying to smuggle. Yes. Okay. I was like, he tried to smuggle like 70 pounds of weed or something crazy like that.
Yeah, 10 pounds of marijuana.
10 pounds. Why did I have 70 in my head?
Marijuana through the O'Hare Airport.
Why did I have 70? Sorry, but that's a lot of poundage of weed.
Yeah.
And now he's a household name. Now he's Bill Murray, who got slapped in the face by Lucy Liu of all people. She seems like a very enjoyable, fun person. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's interesting when you got two different personalities like that not getting along on a set like that. That's so weird. That's so weird. But there you go. There you have it. They hated each other. Anyway, so that wraps up the show, guys. I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for tuning in and being a part of the show today. Tomorrow we got a fun one. It's going to be, more news and more crazy stuff that's going on. I will be on tonight as well, so be on the lookout, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. I will be on to chat it up with you guys and hang out and all that, so be sure to tune in. Yeah. I really appreciate everybody. Tom, Jack, thank you so much for being on today.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Anyway, it is time to get going, guys. I love all you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and being a part of the discussions down below. And if you haven't done that yet, hit that like button underneath this feed right now. And of course, hit that subscribe button so you're a part of the Pascal Show family. I will be back on at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, so I'll see you guys then. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Have a good rest of your day, guys. See you tonight. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Hey, take off Ms. Feinberg, I'd really appreciate it if you would close your legs.
Do you find it distracting?
Power, respect. The festival is crazy in the streets. Deception, the fakers and leaks. Entertainers are trucking for tweakers and losing their circles. Their loves are unique. All of us under surveillance. There was a feeling they made it. Half of them stumbling abroad and they faded. They live in the world that's degraded for people that's constantly hated.
But you see how he makes these S's in his body right here? That's where he's hanging on, and then he's moving forward with the locomotion of his ribs. That is classic Missouri rat snake right there. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab him before he gets into a hole. Now, these snakes are not biters. They won't bite as long as you don't squeeze them. If you just stop them like this, it'll freeze them, and then you just gently pull them back.